A bit more on anicca. The Buddha's last words were anicca vada sankhara, which means all sankhara are anicca, all sankhara are impermanent. All volitions, all volitional formations are subject to changing. The Buddha chose this to be his last words, so it must be very, very important. And the idea of impermanence is really so central to the Buddha's teachings. So we might have different reactions to impermanence, and impermanence can be scary. If everything's changing, where can I land? What can I rely on? This question might arise. And this is really the big question of the practice. If everything is changing, if nothing is stable, if nothing is a permanent, lasting source of satisfaction, I can never permanently eliminate pain, eliminate dissatisfaction. I can never permanently stay in pleasant feelings about myself, about the world. Where can we reside? Where can we take refuge? And the invitation this week is to start to take refuge in the letting go. So it means to start to trust more and more this impermanence. All our formations, all our sankharas, our ideas about how things are subject to changing. And don't rely on something that is subject to change. There's a nice analogy here, which is that of a person who is on a ship, and the ship is sailing, and then the ship has some incident, and there's a shipwreck, and the ship starts sinking. And this person falls into the water, and he keeps holding to the wood that is floating. But over time, this wood starts decaying, starts molding because of the moisture, the ocean, and starts to decay, starts to disintegrate. And he grabs more and more wood, but it keeps decaying, keeps disintegrating. This person is relying on the wood. And after a while, this person starts realizing, I can swim. So he starts swimming, he starts floating. He stops relying on these pieces of wood for sustaining him. Just a story, but it illustrates our reliance on things, our reliance on maybe it's physical objects, our reliance on situations, on states of mind, of the health of our body. When we are young, we have a healthy body, good body, but that changes. That is subject to illness, subject to aging, subject to injury. So it is taking refuge in the feeling of impermanence itself. And another way of looking at this is, rather than getting lost and tumbling in the wave of impermanence. So impermanence is like a wave that is constantly moving through. And we get tumbled and washed by this wave because we resist the impermanence. We struggle and we get disoriented by this change. But change is part of nature. And the deeper we see and accept this, we start surfing that wave. We start surfing the wave because we're not relying on the things. And so the practice is about deeply realizing this impermanence within your experience. There's different levels of impermanence. There's the kind of more gross level impermanence, more conceptual impermanence. So we know that things are impermanent. We know our society is constantly changing. We know that situations are impermanent, locations. I mean, even the location I'm doing these videos in is not permanent. It changes. Now I'm with a different background. Our appearance is impermanent. Our relationships are impermanent. So some days are good, some days are not so good. Some days there's lots of pleasant experience happening, some days not as much. Some days it's really fun to take these videos, some days not as much. So there's this inconstancy, instability in life. And this is a good level of understanding of impermanence. But we can go deeper, we can go more subtle. And especially in meditation, we start to look more at the impermanence of our sensory experience, the impermanence of all phenomena of the body, all feelings, all sensations, all conceptions of the body, the impermanence of the mind, the phenomena of the mind, all thoughts, all states of mind, all emotional states. Even your mindfulness is not something permanent. Don't take refuge in your mindfulness either. Sometimes your mindfulness is stronger, sometimes weaker. Sometimes you can rely on the meditation to collect your mind, to create samadhi. Sometimes you cannot, and your mind is so scattered. Also, this is impermanent. So don't take refuge in it. Don't hide in it. Don't hide in something that's impermanent. There's going to be something in the guided meditations to this topic, to keep relaxing and opening up to your experience, which is impermanent. All your thoughts, all your sensations, all your feelings. Let go of trying to control them, trying to hold them, trying to push them away. The unpleasant things, they will come, they will pass away. The pleasant things, they will come, they will pass away. The freedom is in watching the arising, watching the passing away. And when we look closer and closer, we start to see that in every moment things are arising and passing, arising and passing, arising and passing very quickly. The closer we look, the more we see impermanence everywhere in our experience. And this is what the Buddha wanted us, and the way that the Buddha wanted us to practice. Good. So I wish you the best of luck with the practice this week. It's also good to have a look at the reading. It goes a bit more into detail about impermanence and how to practice it. The heart's reaction to impermanence, that can sometimes feel afraid or sad about things passing, nothing being forever, and has some good information about that too. Good luck.